We are moving to our next panel. It's about client and user-centric change. And the subject, or the buzzword we could say, is Lawyer 4.0. Is it really a subject or a buzzword? Marcin Zręda, who is strategy director of Wolters Kluwer for legal and corporate market, will tell us about client-centric approach, I suppose. He managed numerous IT projects for legal industry. He's organizer of Legal Hackathon. I suppose it's going to happen in few days, weeks. Member of Legal Tech Poland jury. So welcome, Marcin. You were able to join us. And is it subject or just a buzzword?
Thank you very much for Marcin.
Yeah, to jump in, because just to add on Michał's introduction, Marcin is also a keen sailor and father to a few startups, including gardening tech software and urban games software. So man of many skills, and I think this will help us in defining Lawyer 4.0.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the invitation. So I'm curious to have a great discussion next few moments.
Tell us, who is Lawyer 4.0 and what does it mean 4.0, not 3.7?
Yeah, as a people, we like to label and numbering very much. So we have the 2.0, 3.0, and nowadays 4.0. And of course, as probably you know, the Lawyer 4.0 is connected with the fourth industrial revolution. And I will jump for a moment to describe the revolution, because we have four principles of that revolution. And the first foundation is the global connection and exchange of information between people, machines, sensors, devices. We have, of course, there are a lot of slogans like Internet of Things, services, data. So this is the first principle or foundation of the revolution. Second one is the transparency of the data. So the open data, the multiple layers of data, data analysis, big data, etc. So next portion of great slogans. The third one is more interesting, because we then have a technical assistance in the devices and algorithms. So algorithms and devices will help, or already helping us to make better decisions. Yeah, and not also this, but do repeatable tasks, simple tasks, etc. So, and the fourth challenge is associated with the ability to decide, or maybe self-decide even, systems and perform work as autonomous as possible by machines. So we have the four principles, and with that in mind, we need to put the lawyer and the services from the lawyers in that context. So the Lawyer 4.0 is a lawyer who know that four principles exists and know how to use that principles, that technology, algorithms, machines, to build the business. And this is connected with the user-centric or maybe customer-centric principle, because all of that interactions and foundations is connected at the end of the day with the customer.
That's pretty complex.
Yeah.
How do we make it a bit more visible? How do we measure this value brought from those principles, from this digitalization? How can lawyers assess what's good for them and for the clients?
It is not easy. It's not easy only for lawyers, but for for users, for society as a users of technology, of new waves of something like artificial intelligence or other things. And we of course can very close to the situation is when we have the IT project. Nowadays we gathered something like user stories there. So user stories is story from our customer. So maybe some kind of requirement for our services, for our maybe some kind of processes, etc. And we can measure, always we can measure that success with the number of implemented user stories in our business context. So we need to know the customer journey. Then we need to maybe create some user stories about our customers, how to deal with our services, how they will deal with our services, and then we can create a process to build, implement that user stories in our business life, business context. So we can take, for instance, the communication with, as a lawyer, we need to show our customers our case data. Yeah. So we need to exchange something like that using new technologies, not calling with the phone maybe. And nowadays, we as a society, we need to have the information here and now in 1 second. So you can take as a lawyer this principle, and then you need to create some process improvement, maybe to use some legal text, software, etc., to fulfill that requirement. And this is the starting point. Yeah, you need to pick the user stories and then implement it.
Thank you for this notion. We talk a lot about legal tech and different solutions, and it seems that we all, and lawyers as well, need a kind of at least high-level strategy how to approach it. And there are hundreds of applications doing different things for us in business. But on the other hand, you've got big bulks of software doing many things under one roof. What would be your advice? Jump for the patchwork of applications, or look for more or less perfect single solution?
As an observer of that market for a couple of years, there is always something like building too much requirements or too much user stories for the single solution, for the single company that delivers something to us. Because, and this is not only for lawyers, this is for, I think, all customers. We can have a single solution to, for instance, will issue an invoice for customers, and this is the single user story. I need to fill the invoice, then print it and send. Yeah, this is the simple solution for the first glimpse. But we as a customers, we are trying to build on the one user stories the whole story for whole companies, and at the end of the day, we are in the situation when we are searching for software for solution that do not exist because it's too complicated, it's not cheap. We need to wait for the company to create, especially for us, the software. So my opinion is to not to overbuild the requirements, fulfill the user story, find the software and time for trying the software, and close that tick. Yeah, this is checked, it's okay. Move to another requirement. not build the whole this starship, the rocket science solutions need to be simple. Nowadays, we have very a good number of simple solutions with the good user experience. There are fast online, mobile, etc. We need to, and maybe sometimes this is not investment like $1 million, but with very cheap softwares, and we need to focus on the simplicity for the first.
I used to come from the financial and accounting business, and you wouldn't imagine how much user stories you can have about the color of the post the invoice button. That's a huge topic and strategic. Michał, from your perspective as a legal tech user, would you rather go for patchwork of solutions or look for something under one roof?
I remember Marcin's photo from our last conference. I don't think we can find one solution. I was building it once. I have got even EU subsidies to build one, and now it looks like a photo from Marcin's last conference. Maybe we find it to present. So it's an answer. You cannot find one solution. You have to find a good patchwork of few solutions, simplified, well designed. And this is why we lawyers who handle with legal operations are necessary to design it and to operate and to help to simplify it. Because I have also heard the stories about RPA and robots killing or eating other robots and no one to manage them. So find a good, simple patchwork of and manage it and find someone to manage it, because it's better to spend some resources for legal project manager who handles this than big, huge legal tech.
And as I speak, I'm trying to find the picture or similar one. So for those who didn't hear out the Marcin, I think 2 years ago, I will try to show the photo or similar photo. Yeah, so that's the kind of train you can get when you try to build too big solution, especially in-house. And it's an important topic because many law firms I work with have at hand the solutions which cost maybe 10 euros. Very simple things. Yeah. For example, something what is standard on the market, like managing business travel. But most of them will say, no, we are specific. We want in-house build specific buttons, specific drop-downs, specific automation for business travel. And they spend thousands of euros. They are not happy with it. And they could have it for 15 euros and just be shy of few things. Marcin, a question. Where do we start? Because what you are saying is requires a lot of IT knowledge and a lot of strategy knowledge, which you got through the years. Where do we start this learning? Where do we start how to build a digital strategy?
We talk a lot about the user-centric. Nowadays, I think we can turn our vision from the internal perspective to improve internal processes to external, to the customer. Yeah. So, as I said before about the user stories, the user stories can be our plan, strategic plan to be more digital or to be more user-centric. Maybe I will ask you when I finish my sentence. I will ask you how is your vision what you understand, Marcin and Michał, what is the user-centric strategy or maybe user-centric view of the law firm or law department. But finishing my sentence, we need to, again, we need to be simple. So it is simple to get user stories from our customers. Then we can prioritize them and make a strategic plan based on our customers' experiences, requirements. And second point, we need to understand, and this is not easy, but we need to understand how, and maybe understand and learn how to calculate the profitability of implementing that solution for our customers, for internal processes. Because nowadays, lawyers, but not only lawyers, when they are seeing something like 100 euro per year per user for the software to maybe manage business travels, they cannot, maybe this is the point, or not only for the end users, but for the producers of the software, how to calculate the implementation, for the profitability of the implementation, how we can improve our EBITDA or something like that after implementing new solution. So this is very important, because nowadays we are hearing that this software is too expensive, but without any calculation inside. So this is very simple to say it is too expensive. But we as a producers, we need to communicate to our customers, to lawyers, that when you implement something, for instance, you can save your time 1 hour per day. It is the cash. It's not only time, is the cash. So this is very important for me. These 2 points: strategic plan based on user stories, and the second one, to learn how to calculate that return of investment. Yeah.
Michał, from your side, what do you think?
I think that either digital or offline, a lawyer should always think and remember that he's working on a client's project, that he's co-building a house, co-developing a software, co-enabling continuous functioning of the company. And it's not about writing a good contract or winning a lawsuit. This is client centricism. This is difficult because no one teaches us how to build houses, how to develop software, or to produce certain goods. And it's demanding. It requires learning about companies' processes, product knowledge, knowledge about business risks, not related to legal only. And it's challenging. This is getting out of our comfort zone, and it's time to change. This is really time for change. If we don't change our approach, we will not survive.
Yeah.
For me, to be client-centric is to understand what client needs, but in his words, in his story. So not my interpretation, but his what he wants. Know the success factors of this story. So know what needs to happen for clients to be happy, and also know the materiality of those factors, what client is willing to pay for and what client is not willing to pay for, and adjust into this topic. And second thing is the shared benefits. So when we implement something, when we work for the clients, he needs to be beneficiary of this somehow, not only us as a provider. Marcin, we are getting close to next panel. Final word from you.
Final word. I think that we can maybe make a one one umbrella over this this discussion, that we need to be aware of that 4 principles of the 4th industrial revolutions, and we need to be aware and take all the sweet from that, and to be simple, yeah, to pick one point, one user stories, one customer journey, and make that happen.
And as a just maybe final thought, in 3 weeks, on 18th to 20th of June, we will be meeting on Polish Legal Hackathon with teams coding for legal solutions. Marcin is one of the organizers. I will be humbly helping one of the team as a mentor, and all of you is invited to watch it and to support our teams or register if there is no time, Marcin, for this.
Warmly invitation for all members for the conference, and I think that hackathon is the place where we see the connection between customer journey, customer requirements, and the solution, and we can see it here and now in 3 days. It is a very good example how to joining the IT and lawyers.
Thank you, Marcin, so much for your insight. Enjoy your holiday, because you are joining us from a holiday resort. Talk to you soon. Stay with us.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.